learn something. 10 years it took to progress.
It's a good car, Josh.
The oil cup taped to the clutch pedal to extend it a bit more.
Jesus, mate! Guys, LZ World Tour Ireland is just around the corner, literally 2 days away, and pretty much this episode is going to be showing you guys everything that well, needs to be done, and we're a little stretched for time if I'm going to be honest. We have Ruse's car to get ready for Colette Davis, my car to get ready for Laurie Heinen. We're getting all the show cars transported down to Mandela, which doesn't seem like a big job, but it is when there's like 8 or 9 of them, including the BR86 is going to be on display this weekend. Along with that, Dave's JZX 90 is still getting a little bit of work on, and the Supra. Actually, the Supra has nothing to do, that's actually clean, good to go, so that's the one car that we don't have to do anything with. Adam LZ's cars down here, which was getting cleaned up as good as possible, because this is the result of about... Actually, that's the good side. There's been a lot of tyre fires for him this year, which is, it actually came out pretty cool, because this is kind of like a lacquered over colour, and it's kind of burnt through to leave it almost satin blue, which is actually pretty cool. We still have 2 IS200s to complete, because in the show, any one more time battle will be settled with the battle of the IS200s, which personally I'm looking very forward to. And finally, we have my other car. So Sam from Night Ride is going to be coming over and driving this, but at the moment, if you remember from the last bash video, the engine is, well, it's leaking a lot of oil, so we need to change the engine in this. Okay, so because we've obviously not got a lot of time, and as you can tell, that's probably a very ambitious list of things to get done. We need to get them done super fast, which is why I've had to go to the shops and buy some bartering tools for such a task. And Red Bull. There's nothing more in the world that would make Wayne work faster than Coke and Red Bull. The drink, obviously. Right, Wayne, how long do you reckon it's going to take you to do this?
2 days.
That's very unrealistic. We haven't got 2 days. Put a realistic figure on it.
3 days is realistic. Doing it right.
Okay, so how long do you reckon you can do it in?
A day.
A day? We need hours here.
6 hours.
6 hours?
Yeah.
Well, if you can do it in 4 hours, 5 hours then, you can have 8 Red Bulls and 8 Red Bulls and 8 Cokes in 5 hours.
Yeah, but you're going to drink half of them, so I'll only get 4 Red Bulls and 4 Cokes.
Don't be saying that. So 5 hours.
5 hours.
I think we could push this to 4 hours, Wayne.
No, not 4 hours, 5 hours.
Right, 5 hours seems fair. Starting the clock now. Wayne, you know when there's 3 lads on this, Wayne.
And
I'm not sure that was in the deal. You're cracking on there, Wayne. While the real professionals get to work on all the cars that need to be ready for the LZ World Tour, usually I'm not allowed near any car, but one of the boys in the office, Keen, has a problem with his BMW, and it's a problem that even I can fix thanks to today's sponsor, OBD11. Because this little white box might be able to actually fix or diagnose what's wrong with this car. What seems to be the problem? Professional mechanic Dave here, just looking at the car from this distance, I can tell that facial expression says you got a problem. What's the problem, Keen?
She seems a bit sluggish.
Sluggish. It's a diesel BMW, they're always sluggish, but this one is more sluggish than usual. Now normally he would send this to a specialist. You've got one right here, because I've got the OBD11 reader. I'm gonna pop it open, pop it in, see what's up with this baby. All you gotta do is take the OBD11 reader out of the box, pop it in under the dash, and then take the app out on your phone. Once you've plugged the OBD11 reader in, it automatically detects what car it is. Now I'm about to run a full diagnostics on the car. Keen is over there. He thinks I'm very technical right now, but the app's doing it all for me. So the OBD11 reader does it super quick, and I've already found 6 faults on the car. So let's see what's causing the engine to be a bit sluggish. So we've got one engine fault. Click in. It's a particulate filter system. It's a passive fault. We've got a description. Fault is detected if the diesel particulate filter load is excessive. So we know this is a problem with the DPF filter, and these are common in these BMW diesels, so that's exactly what we need to fix to get this thing running A1. Come here, buddy.
What did you find, Dave?
Look, you know, I'm an expert at these things. I just had a good think about it, and I feel like it's the DPF particulate filter that's causing the issue. You might want to get that fixed. Now,
my diagnostic, look, my time is money, you know what I mean? But you're a good friend of mine. I'm gonna let you away with it this time and let you know that your mechanic can get those parts ordered up. However, while you're here, I know you're down, might be able to make some cool little functions that you didn't know you had on your car work. So I have expertise to do this, Keen, so if you could just stand over there. I just don't like people watching me when I'm working. It's very high intensity stuff here.
I'll come back.
Yeah, just give me a minute. Need a moment. What Keen doesn't know is I can access tons of hidden features on his car with a one-click app on the OBD11 reader. One thing that Keen's been wanting to do with this car for a long time is have the USA style side markers, and I know the app can do it. So as you can see, click here, go in here, connects to the select an option, and we've got turn signals here so I can activate. Okay, let's see if that worked. Boom! We got USA style side markers on Keen's BMW. The OBD11 reader is absolutely awesome, and as you can see, you can diagnose the car yourself and save yourself lengthy mechanic bills of someone else diagnosing it for you. And if you've got a BMW, a Toyota, or a VAG Group car, you can plug this in and it's got dealership level diagnostics, and any car with an OBD2 reader from 2008 onwards, it will diagnose as well. Now if you want to save some big money and get 10% off the OBD11 reader, on checkout put in the code DRIFT, and thank you to OBD11 for sponsoring this video. Right, let's get back to work.
Guess what time you're on? Go on, guess.
40 minutes.
39 minutes 40 seconds.
Yeah.
And the engine's already out.
Everything has to be swapped straight over. You can't just pick up the engine and drop it in.
Well, you better get cracking then. Okay, so even though it's the same engine, stuff does still need switching off the old engine, like the sump and obviously the manifold and turbo and inlet and everything like that. So it's not just as easy as getting the new engine and putting it straight in. You got time to eat, Wayne? Lads, I don't know. You said that was a much harder process. We are still on 2 hours 10. You got 3 hours to put this engine in.
You're having a lunch break.
There's only you having a lunch break. You're the only one not doing anything here, Wayne.
Hey, my phone not picking the button back up.
Flat out there.
No, as always.
I think 4 hours, Wayne, would have been more down to the wire instead of 5 hours. You've got another 2 hours left here.
Yeah, we sure didn't go for lunch yet.
I'm just saying, with how long it takes to do, Wayne, I'd say I could blow an engine at the bash pad, then the next day we could have another one in, couldn't we?
No, you can't. I'm not holding hell.
Right, is this it? Go and press the button.
Wander up.
That was a smug look. That was a casual 3 hours and 22 minutes now. Are you supposed to warm it up before you go to the limiter? Okay, so now we've ticked off the MX-5, we can move on to all the other cars that we have, and one of them being finishing off the IS200s, which Craig is now going to put in a wheel because we are taking the standard wheels out and putting in this lovely grip rail steering wheel that actually the guys at Grip Rail and Riverside Drift sent us these just after the fire, and because we're actually only just opening these all now, they actually sent a lovely message which we are very grateful for. Handbraking and now a drift wheel. Well, yeah, actually, yeah, you have to put the boss kit on first, don't you?
That's it.
We did actually plan ahead when we got the boss kits for these. That's the first time I've ever thought ahead. Okay, wheels in, handbrake in, wheel in. Another car boxed off. We're kind of having one of those weeks where we're doing a little bit on every single car and we weren't really getting any cars done, but now we're starting to tick them off, so it's making us feel a lot better. This being one of them with obviously a big job of the engine, so it's kind of a little bit scary because we got the engine that wasn't tested or anything like that, but it seems to be fine. And then as we take these cars to Mondello and everything like that, we're going to begin a final test before we fully give them a tick off. So the guests are starting to arrive tomorrow. I'm not exactly sure who's coming in and when they're coming in, but it's going to get pretty hectic here. So tomorrow there should be a lot more people around and helping out, and then hopefully, fingers crossed, well, I mean it has to be by tomorrow because we're in Mondello testing on Friday, everything is done. So just to make sure these are working right, little testing pad in Allenwood that we'll be able to go test these on quickly. Do you know where the racetrack is?
Yeah, they're all the time. It's half tracks conditions.
Jesus, Wayne, they broke loose then pretty easy.
Small bit.
Jesus, mate!
I think you had to be hard there.
Just try to take a second ring. Classified IS200s will take second in the rain. Well, partly successful test there. How well the, oh my god. How well they go in Mondello with our stars in them, I do not know. Welcome to day 2 of the LZ World Tour prep. So at the shed last night I didn't really film anything because well, there wasn't anything much interesting going on. It's changing seats and little bits and bobs and everything, and to be honest it was all a bit hectic. So I thought I would bring you along for a little bit of a behind the scenes tour before everything gets kicked off today. I saw you running! What's this?
See you later.
Unbelievable. You're giving the English a bad name.
Me?
How are you, Adam? You good?
I'm good, man. How are you? Excited to be back.
Adam is going to be on the mic again as he was last year, doing all the fun behind the pits, on track and everything like that. It's going to be good for you.
I'm really excited. This is like a super, I feel like this event you see the drive. Ruining the vlog, man. No, you see like all the drivers outside of competition mode, but just in their element. Does that make sense? They're all buzzing, pro track, pro cars, but a fun event.
Right, there's one thing that you really need to stress this on the live stream when you're building it up. So the IS200s, they're running a sports kit. It's the IS200s with the sports kit and the 5-spoke sports wheels.
Are they is it the red and the silver one over
Yeah.
there? They actually look like good.
Yeah, well they're not going to at the end of this anyways. Okay, so we're starting up here on our rig, which is the first time we've had an island since the start of the season actually at Drift Masters. So I've got the BR86 here, the JZX90, Dave's Abisu S14 and our S15. All on display, which is super cool. And if we go inside,
Hey, cutie.
nice scooter guys!
Thank you.
I'll just steal some Irish delicacy there, which is, have you got cheese in there?
Healthy AF.
Okay, so inside we have, and I've only just realised this, for the first time in Ireland we have Liberty Walk RX-7. So it's super cool to have this back on Irish soil along with Adams, Datsun, and I don't know, I've got a bit of a love-hate relationship with this thing now. Our NASCAR that we're doing, the start and the reasonably priced NASCAR. So you may have seen on the last video me and Dave were trying to drive it, and now we're gonna, well, I guess see how better drivers will have an attempt of driving it on the Saturday and Sunday of the event. Okay, so it's pretty windy, so bear with me. We've got the BC guys setting up. Hello.
Hi, Josh.
So they've come here early, and look at this thing. I'm sure that's what most lads around here say, tax and post. So what's pretty cool is we have the Drift Masters champion behind him driving my NASCAR powered low brain car. That's going to be pretty cool to see what he has to say about that. He was asking me about compression toe or something like that, I don't know. So I said, you do your thing in the car, change what you want, and I'm sure he can give way more information back to make the car better or an improvement. Here's a bit of a strange turnaround. You're in a...
I'm in a race suit, not on the microphone, for one LZ World Tour, which is, can't tell if it's more stressful or less stressful, but it's definitely more fun.
I was going to say, is this your first time driving at one of our events that we're involved in since your very first ever IDC event you ran?
Yes. This is the first time I've ever run an event and drove at it. Ever. So I've all the stress of running the event and the stress of being good in the car. And it's grand because there's only like Dugga man's back. To be fair, the only, obviously the drivers here are only what? The best in Drift Masters and Formula Drift. So that's...
I was going to say, you got a good mix of them now.
Good mix now, you know, to come in here first competitive event in Mondello against the lads that have, best in the world. But look, it's going to see how we stack up. Weirdly, did a load of different things this morning. Ratios. I was actually driving the car. I can get around the track. I was trying to do different things to make the car better, and it's quite difficult to drive. Everything is fine about it except the transition. It just seems to want to go whoa over itself all the time.
Big angle.
Big angle. Every time you pull the handbrake, it goes on massive angle. Every time you slow down, it goes on massive angle. So when I come on throttle, I realise that the car is technically designed for like a very sticky tire, like a Drift Masters level tire. That's what it's all wound up to be. But I haven't put it on that tire yet. So when I put it on a not inferior tire, but a tire that's got less grip and more lasting power, it feels like I have no grip. And the 1,000 horsepower is just blowing the tire off. So I'm either on lag or just blowing the tire off. So I'm slow or slow. So I turned the boost down to 700 horsepower and it like found the sweet spot. So the last lap I did, I was like, I'm driving kind of what used to be the way is you just stop. Now you're kind of driving it like modulation, and you're driving it a little bit like I would drive a car, like you're driving the bollocks out of it basically. And it's so much
The
fun.
problem is with this car, it will always find the limiter.
Yeah. So bring the limiter down with the boost and give yourself a bit less wheel speed, and you can actually get a bit more forward bite. So I did 2 runs there, which I was like, okay, this feels good. I feel happy now. And then I'm gonna go now do another 2 runs on the tire we're using this weekend, which has less side bite than I just used. So I feel the Supra will be tough on that tire. But I'm gonna practice. I mean, the whole point of a practice day is I don't think it's about going out and doing, for me anyway, doing the first lap perfect because you've nothing to improve from. It's about trying different things to see if you've been doing it right all along. And I think for me now, I know I can come in so much faster, trust the car so much more than the first couple of laps. But now I've figured out on the transition just to, don't use a bit more throttle than handbrake to transition because it just wants to load up and turn. So fun, don't get me wrong, but it is, like compared to anything else I've driven here, even the Eurofighter, it's a lot more on edge, a lot more like you make a mistake, it costs you. But if it works right, I don't think it'll be caught, so gotta learn.
You know what this sounds like though? And it's weird we don't really use that much around here. Progression.
Did we just learn something? Did we just progress?
I think it could. I mean, it's taken a long time to get there.
10 years it took to progress, but today I did a bit of progressing, so let's put some new tires on it, see what we can do.
So we have Sam here this weekend driving my old reliable car, and you're doing a few modifications to it.
Yes, few modifications for my height to fit your seat. First couple of these, pretty big amount of these to the seat, so
How many cushions have you
There is a
got
lot.
in there?
There is a lot. Look, there's this one, second one, and third one, and there is like 3 more. Because otherwise, I see here, and I don't reach any pedals or gear shift.
So I've seen. I wasn't too sure what you were doing, but it is exactly what I thought you were doing. You've taped stuff to the pedals.
Yeah, I asked Wayne to kind of modify the clutch pedal because I also.
Very loud. So what have you done? What have you got going on here?
So this is a oil, I believe it's an oil cup taped to the clutch pedal to extend it a bit more. Apparently Wayne is a farmer, so it's pretty normal to him to do kind of stuff like this. And we are from Poland, and we also are used to stuff like this.
So you're working better. You fit it all in.
Yeah, because I had a couple runs and always had issues with like changing gears because I sit still far, like a bit too back to clutch, and now that should be way easier now.
Oh, perfect. Hopefully these are the only problems that you have this weekend,
Yeah.
and you can dial it in.
Yeah, let's see. It's fun
I remember last time I kept on saying smash it. We're not gonna say that this time.
this time.
That was gracious. How you doing, dude?
It's a good car, just like the first corner, it sits really well, but the front washes out, so maybe a bit more front grip and it will be great.
Well, that's a good start. So power steering, everything okay? Bar the little bit of understeer.
Yeah, it's just a little bit binding on the steering, like on the, I don't know what, more first, second, fourth click. Like,
Four.
Yeah. Just a little like situations there. You have to remember to keep the revs up. But yeah, all good.
You're obviously not the beast your car is, but I'm glad you're enjoying it.
Yeah, of course. This is really similar to that. Like just like the position of the steering wheel and stuff is just a little different. But yeah, everything else is really pretty much the same.
What were you saying in Poland that you followed this car from where it was and it helped, well not helped, but inspired you slightly for your car, was it?
Oh yeah, I think Luke made the V8 much more acceptable with this car. Like, I don't like V8s that much, so yeah, this was the yeah, it's a legendary, like a dream car.
That's really cool when I heard that. So I'm glad you're going to be enjoying it for the weekend and developing it as well.
Yeah, yeah, of course, happy to help. And yeah, it's such an honor for me to get to drive the car and to be here.
Well, you're welcome, buddy.
Yeah, thank you.
Slowly turn into missile car.
Tech screws aren't rough.
The pride and joy that this car got put together with, and then we're tech screwing through Kevlar and carbon. It's a race car. Okay, so this was just a little bit of a quick video, but before we finish off this, I'm just going to finish off with some trackside with a little bit of track action. Alright guys, so the day is done. Sorry I didn't film too much, but I just filmed a little bit along the other stuff that I was doing for LZ World Tour just to get you guys up to speed with what's going on a bit of before prep. Now, Saturday and Sunday is the main day when all the on-track action, meet and greets, everything like that is going to happen. So busy weekend ahead, lots of cars, lots of action, lots of people here. What a picture, an IS200 next to the low brain car. Until then, I'm going to love you and leave you. I'll catch you guys on the next one.